Welcome back to the Long Acres Finance channel. Last month I created a video talking about the top 10 largest holdings in my portfolio, and I figured it would be interesting to do another update today, a month later, to show you how this list has changed. Just like last month, I'll be combining the positions across my three portfolios: my Roth IRA account, my personal taxable account, and my 401k account. The current market value of all three portfolios is just shy of $121,000. Compared to last month, the value is down just a little over $1,000. My projected annual dividend income is $2,648. That is up from $2,574 a month ago. So while my portfolio value has declined, it's nice to see my projected dividend income growing. An increase of $74 may not seem like much, but it's an almost 3% increase in the span of 1 month. This increase is primarily driven by contributions I have made to all three portfolios and a few dividend increases as well. My current dividend yield is 2.19%, that is up from 2.11% last month. My yield on cost has also risen from 2.32% to 2.34%. My top 10 holdings across all my portfolios make up about 24% of my total market value and generate about 22% of the total dividend income. This is a 1% increase from the prior month when the top 10 holdings made up about 23% of the portfolio value. Okay, onto the holdings now. The largest holding right now is Texas Instruments, that makes up 2.7% of my portfolio and has a market value of $3,245. Texas Instruments was the largest position last month as well. I currently have a small loss of about 1.1% on my position, which isn't too bad considering the stock is down about 8% this year. Since last month's update, I have added to this holding, and as a result, my annual income has increased from $82 to $85. Not a big change, but it's a few extra nickels in my pocket going forward. The current dividend yield for Texas Instruments is 2.62%, which makes the stock look slightly undervalued based on dividend yield theory. The stock did not make the cut for my April watch list, so I am currently not adding any more money to this position. My second largest position right now is Amgen, that also makes up 2.7% of my portfolio and has a market value of $3,237. So it's very close behind Texas Instruments and may even become the largest holding in the near future. Amgen was the third largest holding last month, and even though I have added more money to this position recently, it primarily moves up as a result of market activity, as the stock is up nearly 13% this year. I contributed quite a lot to this stock in 2021, as it struggled to gain any momentum, but it did offer a more attractive dividend yield. My current yield on cost of 3.4% is better than the 3.03% yield the stock offers today. My dividend income has increased from $95 last month to $98 today, getting very close to that nice and even $100 mark. Amgen did not make the watch list for April, so I am currently not adding to this position. The third largest holding right now is Mastercard, that makes up 2.4% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,941. Mastercard also moves up on the holdings list, as it was the fourth largest holding last month. My return has improved a little from a month ago, as now I have a 1% gain versus a 1% loss in March. The stock still remains rather flat, and has struggled over the past year compared to the overall market. There is no change to my annual projected income of $15. Mastercard doesn't offer an attractive dividend yield, but my intentions are to benefit from above average dividend growth and a better than average long-term return. Mastercard did make the April watch list, and I am adding capital to this position right now. The fourth largest holding right now is Humana, that makes up 2.4% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,869. Humana was not in the top 10 holdings last month. The share price dropped heavily in early January, but has since recovered and the stock is almost flat on the year. I have added some more capital to the position this year, but the main reason it makes the top 10 list this month is due to favorable market returns during the past month. My position has a modest gain of 7.7% and generates $19 of annual dividend income. Humana is another small dividend yield holding in my portfolio, but it offers strong dividend growth, and I am expecting a favorable long-term total return from this stock. The current dividend yield of 0.68% is right in line with the 5-year trailing dividend yield. My yield on cost of 0.74% is a little higher than the current yield. Humana is on the April watch list, and I have added more capital to my position this month. The fifth largest holding right now is Tractor Supply, that makes up 2.3% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,827. Tractor Supply was the 8th largest holding last month, so it has climbed up the list over the past few weeks. The stock is down about 2% this year, and has remained rather flat during the past month. My position has a decent gain of 37.9% and generates $44 of annual dividend income. Last month the annual dividend income was projected at $41, so it has increased by $3 over the past month from my contributions. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 1.59%, that is better than the trailing dividend yield of 1.38%. My yield on cost is even better at 2.19%, as I picked up a few shares at more favorable prices last year. Tractor Supply is on the April watch list, and I have already added more capital to the stock earlier this month, and will continue to do so over the next 2 weeks. The 6th largest holding is UnitedHealthcare, that makes up 2.3% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,783. UnitedHealthcare was the 10th largest holding last month, so it also climbs up the list. The stock gained about 7% over the past month, and is also up about 7% on the year. I have not added any more capital to this position in a while, so the share price movement is the primary driver of the stock climbing the holdings list. My position has a gain of 47.8%, and the projected dividend income remains unchanged from last month at $29. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 1.08%, that is below its trailing dividend yield of 1.44%. My yield on cost is 1.59%, as I picked up shares for more attractive prices in the past. UnitedHealthcare did not make the April watch list, and I don't think it will in the near future unless the share price comes back down. The 7th largest holding is Lockheed Martin, that makes up 2.3% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,779. Lockheed is a new addition to the top 10 list this month as a result of favorable market returns. The share price is up about 4% over the past month, and about 32% on the year. I haven't added to my position in a while as the stock has not appeared on the recent watch lists. My position has a gain of 28.9% and generates $66 of annual dividend income. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 2.39%, that is below the trailing dividend yield of 2.59%. My yield on cost is 3.08% as I purchased my shares at more favorable prices in 2021. Lockheed Martin is not part of the April watch list, and I am currently not adding to this position. The 8th largest holding is Charles Schwab, that makes up 2.3% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,769. Charles Schwab was actually the 2nd largest holding last month, but has seen its share price decline since late March. My gain in the position declined from about 45% last month to 34.7% this month, with the projected dividend income staying unchanged at $26. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 0.95%, that is below the trailing dividend yield of 1.07%, and does not look very attractive. My yield on cost is 1.28%, as I was able to buy shares of the stock at more favorable levels in 2021. Charles Schwab is not part of the April watch list, and as a result, I am not adding to my position this month. The 9th largest holding is Rowe Price Group, that makes up 2.2% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,709. Rowe was the 9th largest holding last month as well, and even though I have added to this position, it remains fixed due to unfavorable market returns. The stock is down nearly 29% on the year, even after a small rise in late March and early April that has since begun to fade. My overall position has declined from a loss of 9% last month to a loss of 13.1% this month. However, the projected annual dividend income has increased from $86 to $92. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 3.42% that looks very attractive compared to its trailing dividend yield of 2.6%. My yield on cost of 2.97% is below the current yield offered by the stock, but should improve in the future as I add more shares right now. I have been adding to Rowe over the past couple months as the share price continues to decline, and I am adding in April as well. And the 10th largest holding is Realty Income, that makes up 2.2% of my portfolio, with a market value of $2,685. Realty Income was not part of the top 10 holdings last month. The stock had a very good past month, as the share price climbed about 11%, pushing the market value of my position higher. Overall, I have a 5.5% gain on my shares of the stock, and it generates $108 of annual dividend income. The stock currently offers a dividend yield of 4.06%, that is below its trailing dividend yield of 4.4%. My yield on cost of 4.28% is right in between the current and trailing dividend yield. Realty Income is not part of my multi-watch list, but I do include it in my portfolios, as well as a few other multi-dividend stocks. I have my target allocation set at 2.5%, so there is still room to expand this position in the future. So there has been a little shuffling around in the top 10 holdings list over the past few weeks. 3 new positions have moved up, which means that 3 of my top 10 holdings from last month have fallen down. Amphenol was the 5th largest holding in March, and currently is the 11th largest holding, primarily because of unfavorable market returns. Lowe's was the 6th largest holding last month, and currently is the 13th largest holding, also as a result of unfavorable market returns. Lowe's, however, is on the April watch list, and I am adding more capital to this position this month, so it may climb back up soon. Morgan Stanley was the 7th largest holding last month, and currently is the 12th largest holding, once again due to unfavorable market returns. Morgan Stanley is also on the April watch list, and I have been adding more capital to this position. Just like every other investor, I like to see my portfolio value climb, but as my stocks climb in value, they also present less attractive entry points. The current market volatility has shaken my portfolio, but instead of focusing on the paper losses, I instead look at the opportunities current conditions present. I have been able to add to several of my top holdings recently at favorable prices, and lock in historically attractive dividend yields, Should the stock market continue to decline, my strategy will remain the same. I will look for the best combination of quality and value, and dollar cost average my way into these positions over long periods of time. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.